introduce you with our participants. There are, sir, there are 34 participants from all over the India, and they are almost all assistant professor or equivalent, working in various universities and degree colleges and KBKs, and some of them from NGO also. And dear participants, today's our resource person, Dr. Kumar Singh, he is working as a scientist D in Rainforest Research Institute, Jorhat, and he did his PG in botany and PhD botany with a specialization in plant physiology from Chaudhry Charan Singh University, Meerut. And he has 12 years of working experience in the field of forest botany, plant physiology, forest seed technology under the aegis of ICFRE, Indian Council of Forestry Research and Education, Dehradun. He has explored forest of Northeast India for botanical exploration and germplasm collection of important forestry species, because he is now working in the division of tree improvement and herbarium. He has published 3 books, 1 monograph and 1 manual, and more than 25 research papers, and more than 12 popular articles in various magazines. Currently, he is handling 5 projects, and he has concluded more than 5 projects till now, and he is working as a co-PI also in more than 5 projects. So he is now more than 10 projects in, at the present. He is working as a herbarium in charge in RFRI also, and he is also supervising 2 PhD students. So with this brief biodata of Dr. Kumar Singh, now I would like to request you to please deliver your lecture. Now over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kaushal Singh, for giving such a nice introduction of mine. I will be discussing on topic forest management for sustainable use of natural resources. And this topic will be covered in, just a minute, the slide is not going forward.
Yeah, in this mode, sir, there may be problem of moving of the slides. I think it is not.
Now it is okay. And I will cover this topic in 8 different subjects. First, I'll introduce to the Northeast India. Then I will tell you about the shifting cultivation, which is a major agriculture practice which is followed in Northeast India, and its uniqueness and extent of Zoom cultivation, and what are the environmental issues which now coming out because of practicing Zoom cultivation, and the traditional practices which the local people have developed for improving the Zoom farming system, and the work done by RFRI to restore the degraded Zoom land. And finally, I will suggest the potential approach for sustaining Zoom farming system and the conclusion. Now let's start with Northeast India. As you all know that Northeast India is known as the land of 7 sister states. It is a territory of diverse ethnic group, tribes and culture. The Northeast is lies in the part of Eastern Himalayas where 2 biodiversity hotspots meet, mainly Himalayan and Indo-Burman region. Because of its unique topography, climatic condition, here one can report around 8,500 plus species of flowering plant, and majority of which belong to the family Orchidaceae, followed by Poaceae and Leguminaceae. From this table, you can see that angiosperm here are around 8,500, gymnosperm here are around 40, which is reported. Northeast is known as land of orchids, land of bamboos and cane. So here one can find around 825 species of orchid, which is reported from here. 80 species of rhododendron, bamboos are around 60 reported from this region. Canes are 25.
Sir, is sorry to interrupt you. Your slides are not moving.
Oh, just a minute. I will check.
Yeah.
Now let's see it is moving or not.
Not, sir.
दोबारा skip करके start करो. Now, is it working?
It is on. Is stable on first slide. Still now. Not moving, sir. Again.
Just a minute, I'm checking.
Yeah, please check. Yeah, now moving your slides, sir.
Start video. Is that okay now?
Yeah, please check again by changing your slide. Please change. Go on another slide. Next one slide.
Yeah, I'm moving further, but from our side, it is okay. The slide is moving.
No, not moving.
I don't know what
No,
it is.
fix on first slide again.
Video wala banda.
Yeah, just now slide have changed. Now you came there.
Yes, sir. Now it is moving.
Yeah.
Is it working now?
Yeah, working. Yeah, it's okay now.
Okay, I am discussing about Northeast, and in Northeast one can find around there are 8,500 species of angiosperm. Gymnosperm here are around 40, orchids are 825. Rhododendron one can report here are around 80 species of rhododendron, bamboos around 60, canes are 25, pteridophytes and mosses are around 500, and liverworts are around 700, lichens are around 728. And because of its unique floral diversity, it also has many medicinal plants and has encompasses several rare, threatened, and endangered species also. And because of this, Northeast region also known as cradle of the flowering plant. And in spite of having biologically rich region, this region also has several threatened species also. For example, Acer levigatum, Hollandria antidicentrica, Phoenix pseudoginseng, Magnolia lirocapa, Magnolia gustavi, Amintotexus asamicus, Elysium graffiti, Gymnocladus asamicus. These are some of the species which are threatened and which are hardly seen from this location. As per Forest Survey of India 2021, the total forest cover of Northeast India is around 1.65 square kilometer, and which is around 63% of its geographical area. If we compare it with the nation forest cover, in nation, the forest cover is around 21%. And from this, you can clearly make out that Northeast region is mainly the forest land is occupied by the forests. And as per Champion and Set, there are 51 forest types, which are broadly classified into 5 subclasses, that is tropical forest, subtropical forest, temperate forest, subalpine forest, and alpine forest. There are 20 national parks, 66 wildlife sanctuaries here in Northeast India, which have exceptional concentration of several endemic species. But if we compare it with 2019, it is mentioned in Forest Survey of India that from 2019 onwards till date, the forest cover declining in Northeast India, and decline is to about 1,020 square kilometer. There are so many reasons behind the declining of forest cover in Northeast, but the main reason which comes out to be the shifting cultivation and is related biotic stresses in this region. Many of you know about the shifting cultivation. Many of you heard about the shifting cultivation, but many may not be knowing. And for them, I am discussing about the shifting cultivation. Shifting cultivation is also known as zoom cultivation or zooming. It is a slash and burn type of agriculture which is practiced in Northeast India since time immemorial. It is regarded as the first step in transition from hunting and food gathering stage to food production stage, and it is started somewhere around 7,000 before Christ during Neolithic period. In literature, in Assamese literature especially, it is mentioned that zoom is known as to work collectively. Actually, in zoom cultivation, the land is cultivated for 2 to 3 years, and after that it was left vacant or it was left abandoned for 10 to 20 years. And this is done so as to allow the soil to regain its attributes, to regain its quality naturally. In Northeast India, the shifting cultivation is especially followed in every state, in Arunachal Pradesh, in Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, and Tripura. Besides that, some other states of India, this shifting cultivation practice is followed. For example, in Andhra Pradesh, some of the part, the shifting cultivation followed. In Odisha, this practice is known as Kodu. In Madhya Pradesh, this is known as Mewar. In Kerala, this is known as Punam Kishi. Now, the uniqueness of this shifting cultivation is that it is mainly practiced on the community forest land. As you know, that community forests are those land where the right it with the community or tribal community, or where the tribes has the right to grow, what to grow and when to grow, and they shares the productions and the sales equally between themselves. Though in Zoom land, the land rotation is the practice and not the crop rotation. Here, when the people cultivate the land, they grow as much as 15 to 35 crops in a single piece of land. So at that time, this land has huge or high biodiversity rich region. And as I told, this shifting cultivation is sustainable only when the cultivation practice is followed by the lag period or fallow period of 10 to 20 years. Now the question may comes in your mind, why the shifting cultivation is followed in Northeast India to such a high extent? Yes. Is there any issue? Hello. Is there, Dr. Kaushal Singh, is there any issue?
No problem, sir.
Actually, I've got disturbance from other side. Okay, I will start. Now the questions come. Why this Zoom cultivation is practiced to such a high level in Northeast India? The reason being that it is an indigenous system which is having a high organic multiple cropping system, well suited to the area where there is heavy rainfall, and especially in the hilly tract. In Northeast India, the rainfall is very heavy and the tract is hilly and mountainous region is there. So that's why this practice is followed here. And one more reason is that this is the cheapest method available for hilly areas, as there no capital investment is required in terms of machinery, manure and fertilizer. And it is energy efficient and economic. It is economic and energy efficient as compared to alternate form of agriculture practices such as terrace farming and valley farming. It is more efficient than that kind of practices. And as I told, this is the only option available for the people living in rigorous and undulated mountain terrain. So this is the reason why this shifting cultivation is followed in Northeast India. Now let's see the process how shifting cultivation practice is done. Here in first, you can clearly see this is the forest land. When the people decide to cultivate the land, they cut down the trees, they burn the herbs and stuff, clear the land and cultivate the land for growing different type of crops. And after growing for 2 to 3 years, they leave the land abundant, so that allow the soil to regain its nutrient back. And this cycle goes on. And the photograph showing some of the Zoom cultivation practices in different states of Northeast. For example, first is one from Arunachal Pradesh, second is one from Nagaland, third is from Mizoram, and the fourth one is from Manipur. Now, nowadays, what are the issues coming out because of practicing Zoom cultivation? As because of increasing population, the demand for food grain increases. And due to that, the fallow period decreases to 3 to 5 years instead of 10 to 4 years. And because of reduction in fallow period, the soil is not able to replenish properly and thus causes land degradation. Further, due to shrinkage of forest land, because of urbanization, because of encroachment, this all lead to decrease in soil fertility, reduced soil productivity, and crop productivity, enhances soil erosion, causes land degradation, and as land cultivated year and year after, so there is more chances of greenhouse gas emission. This changes biochemical cycle, and overall it all lead to ecological degradation, limited production, habitat loss for wild floras and faunas. Now you may be knowing what is shifting cultivation, what are the issues now coming out because of shifting cultivation. And this photograph from this map, you can clearly make out a study done by Pasha et al. In 2020, he find that from 2014 to 2018, there is reduction in the Zoom cultivation area in Northeast India from 16,000 square kilometer to around 8,871 square kilometer. The main reason behind it is that because of permanent settlement, because of urbanization, because of degradation of Zoom land, there is reduction in Zoom cultivation practices in Northeast India. Now there are two schools of thought. Some says that shifting cultivation is beneficial. Others says that it is against the environment. It is against the environment and causes land degradation. So ecocentric view says that it condemns the practice of Zoom cultivation, saying that it dries up the spring of the hill, causes soil erosion, destroy the forest ecosystem. Whereas on the other hand, anthropogenic views, which always support the human, which says that this practice is more human, more accommodative, more sensitive, and more positive in approach, and it is considered as the ecological and economic necessity of the region. And further, as per the saying of Professor P.S. Ramakrishnan, the famous ecologist, he says that although this practice is primitive and insufficient, but this is the only best possible method available for organic multiple cropping system, which is well suited to the area, having high rainfall and having the hilly mountain tract. And it is a fine example of production system, which is adapted to the ecological niche. Now I have told about you the shifting cultivation. Now issues, what are the issues which come out because of shifting cultivation? Now we have to think about the possible solution, how it can be shifting cultivation practices can be protected, or how we can enhance the soil fertility of the Zoom land. So for that, one can go for adoption of suitable water soil conservation measures, such as we can go for bench tracing, contour bunding, contour trenching, half moon trench, catch pitch, hedgerow, and agroforestry. These are the practices, these are the construction we can do on the hill slope so as to obstruct the water flow, so as to conserve the water within the field itself and to conserve the soil erosion. Another one we can think of, that we can grow the species which are having multiple uses. For example, legume trees such as Albizia, Indigofera jolenigera, and nitrogen fixing trees we can use of just such as Ulmus nepalensis, Parkia timoriana, and we can grow some other species which are having timber quality. For example, Melina arborea, we can grow Aculeata melakensis also. So this not only increases the biodiversity of the region, but also as this is these are having multiple uses and provide high economic return to the people, native people. So growing this species can help in improving, in uplifting the socio-economic status of the Jumias. Now, I will introduce you some of the traditional practices which the local people itself they have devised and they are using within for enhancing the productivity of the Zoom-land. In Nagaland, the people used Himalayan alder-based Zoom farming system. They use legume mixed cropping system. They use Jabo farming system, which is an integrated farming system. They use tree-based Zoom farming system and log and contour budding for soil and erosion control. I will be discussing each one by one. Himalayan alder-based Zoom farming system. Alder is a tree which is known as Ulmus nepalensis. It is an actinorhizal tree which fixes atmospheric nitrogen and fixes in association with the actinomycetes called Frankia. This method is well adopted by the people, the tribe, Angami tribe of Konoma village of Nagaland. What happened when the people decide to cultivate the land, they pollarded this Ulmus tree, this Ulmus nepalensis tree, to around 2 to 3 meters from the ground and burn the leaf in the field itself. And after burning, they prepare the field for growing different type of crops. They grow cash crop, they grow vegetable, they grow horticulture, they keep floriculture. And after cultivating the land for 2 to 3 years, they left the land fallow for 5 to 7 years. And during that period, during this fallow period, this Ulmus tree regain its branches and regain its leaf, and this cycle goes on. In the next slide, I will show how this goes on. In this photograph, in this slide, you can see this is the full-grown Ulmus nepalensis tree. When the people decide to cultivate the land, they pollarded the tree, and after pollarding, the upper part is sold in the market as fuel wood, and they prepared the land for cultivation of different cash crops, especially rice. In Northeast, the people, the land is mainly used for growing rice. So they grow rice, they grow other kind of vegetable. Here they are growing the potato, and after growing for 2 to 3 years, they leave the land vacant and allow the Ulmus tree to grow back. And because of this unique and environmental friendly agriculture practice, this Angami tribe of Konoma village have got Indian Biodiversity Award in 2021. And the practice which is followed by the natives of Nagaland is that they grow legume trees either as mixed crop or on the fallow land. In the first slide, you are also seeing that they are growing maize along with the legume trees. In second slide, they are growing the French bean. And at the third and fourth slide, they are growing the Kajanas Kajan. They are growing on the fallow land for enhancing the productivity. As legume tree introduce nitrogen in the soil, thus help in improving the soil fertility, as well as their root system of the legume trees holding the soil particle, thus prevent the soil erosion. So they are using legume trees for improving the productivity of the degraded Zoom land. And another method which is adopted by the local people, especially of the Kirkuma village from Fake district, Nagaland, this system is known as Jabo farming system or integrated farming system. Here what the people do, they conserve the water and the soil within the land itself. They conserve the water, whatever flows from the hilltop. They store the water by construction of the siltation tank. This is the siltation tank they have constructed, and the water flows from whatever flows from the siltation tank. They again store the water by forming the water harvesting tank. And around that water harvesting tank, they grow horticulture crop. They keep livestock, and on the lower side, when the water flows, they grow vegetables, and further on the lower side, they grow paddy, and on lower side they grow fisheries. They do fisheries, and finally the water goes into the river. In this way, they obstruct the water flow, they prevent the soil erosion, they utilize the water in a best possible manner, and improving the fertility of the degraded Zoomland. The lower photograph, in this photograph, this is the water harvesting tank. They store the water, and on the periphery, on the upper side of this tank, they are growing the horticulture trees, and on the lower side, you can see that these are the rice paddy they are growing. And now come to Meghalaya. If people of Meghalaya also adopted some of the practices for improving the degraded jumeland. They use cover crop. As you know that cover crop is the crop which is generally grown not for harvesting purpose, but to improve, but to hold the soil particle and thus to prevent the soil erosion. They use cover crop, especially bamboos and cane. They use to stop the degradation of jumeland. They do not completely fell the trees while going for shifting cultivation. They retain some of the trees in the field itself. They use poles and logs for soil conservation, and they also efficiently use weeds for improving the yield of the cash crop they are growing. And I can say at this stage, I can say these are the practices which these native people have evolved or learned through experience, and these have ample of potential if this kind of practice can be used anywhere else. Now, this is the photograph of Meghalaya. From this, you can see that while going for shifting cultivation practices, they retain some of the trees in the field itself. By retaining this, they prevent the soil erosion, as this tree bind the soil particles. Here also in this photograph, they are doing shifting cultivation practices, and the trees are retained within the field itself. This is done to conserve the soil erosion, to protect the soil erosion. Same in lower slide also. They are growing the trees which prevent soil erosion because of their root system. And in this photograph, you clearly see that people are using poles and logs of the tree and placed horizontally in the direction, in a direction perpendicular to the direction of the flow of the water. This is done to obstruct the water flow, to prevent, to conserve the water within the field itself, to prevent soil erosion. In this, they use logs and poles, and on the lower side, they are using the bamboo breaks for obstructing the water flow. And this is this first slide showing the contour bunding they do on the slopes so as to obstruct the water flow, to prevent, to retain the water in the field itself. And another practice is they allow summer of trees at the periphery of the land, and this is done to prevent soil erosion. These are some of the traditional practices that the local people have adopted, and they are using this for enhancing the productivity of the jumeland. Now come to Assam. Even in Assam, the people are facing the issues of degraded jumeland. Here, people for overcome that, the people are using legume trees such as Albizia procera, Dalbizia siso, and non-legume trees. They are growing Melina arborea, Trivia nudiflora, and they are also using noxious weeds such as Coromelina odorata and Lantana camara for increasing the productivity of their cash crop. In Assam, especially, the main cash crop is the paddy. And as per the study done by the Bora and Barua, it is found that when the Lantana camara and Coromelina odorata, which is a noxious weed, when it is used as green manure crop along with inorganic fertilizer in the paddy field, they found the yield of the paddy increases to around 0.75 tons per hectare when Lantana is used, and when Coromelina odorata is used, the yield is around 0.66 ton per hectare. So in that way, they are efficiently utilizing not only legume trees, but also utilizing the weeds for increasing the productivity of their cash crop. Another study done by the RFRA itself, they use legume trees such as Indigofera jolenigera and Albizia lucidor for increasing the productivity of the paddy field in the degraded jumeland. This is a best example of tree-based intercropping system where one can find yield increase to around 2.85 ton per hectare and 3.52 ton per hectare in 2 consecutive years when Indigofera is used or when Albizia lucidor is used. This is a study done by RFRA. And another study done by some Rathod and Butt from ICR Northeastern Hill Regional Center, they found that when the rice is grown alone in the land, the yield is around 1.5 ton per hectare. But when it grows along with vegetables, beans, like when it grows with rice, vegetable, beans, rice, cauliflower, and rice, garlic, maize cropping system, then the yield increases to very high. The yield is around 5 ton, 4.8 ton, and 1.2 ton per hectare. So these are some of the studies which has done earlier by some of the worker. Now come to the work which RFR is doing, which I am doing. I'm working on Parkia timoriana. I'm working on Melina arborea and Equularia melecensis for enhancing the productivity of degraded jumeland and enhancing the population of these species within the wild. So my main focus is on development of advanced propagation method, especially vegetative propagation method of these tree species. And we have also identified, we have also isolated and mass multiplied bioinoculant, which is used for introduction of these multi-purpose tree species in the degraded jumeland. So I will start with Parkia timoriana first. Parkia timoriana, as you all know, that it is a fast-growing legume tree having high nutritional and medicinal utility. It is popularly known as tree bean because its pot is sold in a market of high value, that is around rupees 225 to 370 rupees per kg. Besides its pot, it has several other uses, like its bark contains 6 to 15% tannin, and thus useful for thus used in tannin industries. as because its canopy is very large, it is used as shade tree in tea plantation areas in Northeast India. As it is a nitrogen fixing trees, it also helps in supplying nitrogen to the soil. It also acts as carbon sink, and it has wide adaptability to different environmental conditions. As its root system, its rhizospheric soil system also harbors several beneficial microbes, which we have isolated, that Bacillus aryabhatae Chrysobacterium species, Enterobacter holomencae, and Pennybacillus gluconolyticus. These are some of the beneficial microbes which we have isolated from the rhizospheric soil of the healthy parkia tree, and we have mass multiplied them, and we have used them while during introducing the parkia seedling in the degraded Jumland. And the project started with selection of CPTs from different growing region. We have selected around 21 CPTs from different growing region, and we have mass multiplied them through seeds as well as vegetatively through A layering and branch cutting. A layering and branch cutting are the two methods which we have devised first for its mass multiplication, and we have used for its reintroduction in the wild. We have developed bacterial bioinoculant, which as I told earlier, that we have isolated healthy microbes from the healthy tree rhizospheric soil, and we have mass multiplied them, and we have used them while we go for introducing the Parkia timoriana seedling or ramets in the field during establishment of seedling seed orchard and clonal seed orchard. Now the photograph showing how we have propagated through seeds. Seeds has dormancy because of hard seed coat. So we have tested different dormancy breaking treatment, and we have tested mechanical scarification, we have tested acid scarification and hormonal treatment also. And on the basis of our result, we have raised seedling at RFRA nursery. And again, in this, we have mass multiplied Parkia timoriana through A layering also. In this, we have tested different rooting hormones such as IPA, IA, and naphthalinic acetic acid in different combination and different concentration. And we have also tested growth media like sand, soil, and FYM different combination. And from our result, we have raised successfully Parkia timoriana through A layering also. Here you can make out that these are the branch on which the A layering is done, and this is the rooting which come out from the branches around 3 months. It takes 3 months to roots to come out, and after the rooting comes, we cut the branch from the lower side and plant directly into the field. In this way, the A layering is done. And another method is we have tested is branch cutting. In branch cutting also, we have tested different rooting hormones such as IBA, NA, and IA in different combination, and sand, soil, and FYM in different combination also, and we have successfully mass multiplied them through branch cutting also. And on the basis of our result, we have established one seedling seed orchard in Chingkeching Reserve Forest in Manipur. Actually, Manipur Forest Department has requested us to provide a proper solution for degrading Jumland in Manipur. So we have selected a native tree that is Parkia timoriana. We have mass multiplied them, and we have established seedling seed orchard in around 2.5 hectare land in Manipur. And in another, this is the photograph of seedling seed orchard which we have established in 2019, and this is the current photograph, recent photograph which we have taken. And the seedling is around 3.5 year old, and the height is around 6 feet to 8 feet now. This we have established in degraded Jumland of Manipur. And from the vegetative propagation material through branch cutting, we have established clonal seed orchard at Tharosibi Research Center. This is in Manipur, and this we have established on recently around 10 to 15 days back. Only we have established this in Manipur. Now, another species which I am working on, that is Melina arborea. It is a straight tree of Meghalaya, and it is considered as one of the best reliable timber, even better than the eucalyptus. And but the main problem lies with Melina arborea is that it has low productivity, it has poor bole form, and it is susceptible to various insect pests. In this concern also, the Forest Department of Meghalaya and Manipur approaches RFRA to provide a proper solution, to provide a good quality planting material which are resistant to insect pests and also has clear bole size. So in that case also, we have selected candidate plus trees from different growing region of Northeast India, and we have propagated them. We have laid out progeny trial at different locations within Northeast India. And in that we have propagated Melina arborea through patch budding on branch cutting. And seed in Melina arborea, seed is not preferred because of huge variations in the offspring which get from the seed, and because of the poor germination of the seed, and it will take more time. It will take around 6 months to 1 year for a seedling to come out. So we prefer vegetative propagation. Vegetatively propagated material have the same quality as present in the selected pay plant. The same quality is present in the offspring. So we have mass multiplied them through through branch cutting and patch budding. And finally, we have established its seedling seed orchard and clonal seed orchard at 3 different places: Manipur, Meghalaya, and Assam. The photographs showing the propagation of Melina arborea through seeds, which we have done in RFRA nursery, and the vegetative propagation which we have done in through branch cutting here in our nursery. and the patch budding, which we have patch budding and bud grafting, the same terminology we have done in RFRA. In patch budding, we take out the bud along with some portion of this bark, and we fix on the stock plant, generally raised through the seeds. So in this way, we fix both of them, and we get the bud grafting. And this photograph showing the sprouting of Melina arborea graft at different intervals. And on the basis of our research, and on the basis of the mass propagation of the Melina arborea, we have established one seedling seed orchard in Luanggram Bum plantation site. This plantation was done in 2001 year, and again in the same year, during 2001, we have established clonal seed orchard of Melina arborea in Naharoni, Golaghat, Assam. And another potential species which one can think of is Aquilaria melakensis. Aquilaria melakensis is also known as agarwood and eaglewood, but nowadays it is considered as critically endangered as per IUCN 2009, and it is listed in Appendix 2nd of CITES 2010, and also included in IUCN Red Data List 2001. The main reason for its exploitation is because of its oil. Its superior quality oil of Aquilaria sold in a market of rupees 2 to 2.5 lakh per liter in Northeast India, and due to that, its population is declining in Northeast India. If one can think of using Aquilaria melakensis for enhancing the productivity of degraded jumeland, we can not only enhance the population of Aquilaria melakensis in Northeast, but also help in uplifting the socio-economic status of the local people, because the oil is sold in the market for very high price. As Aquilaria melakensis is not a legume tree, then we have to go for providing some additional manuring and fertilizer, or we can use bioinoculant for introducing those in the degraded jumeland. So in this way, we can improve the population of Aquilaria, not only Northeast, but we can also improve the soil quality of the degraded jumeland, and also the economic status of the local people. Now, although how the oil is formed in Aquilaria melakensis in nature, it is when the adult tree is infected by a fungus. The fungus is still not known. There are so many fungus which causes infection. When it infected the adult trees, the heartwood, the black color wood is formed, and from this black color wood, the oil is extracted by distillation method. And in this, RFRA has also developed a formulation which, when bore into the adult trees, the infection occurs, and from this infected part, the oil can be taken out. And at the conclusion, I can say the shifting cultivation is a major land use practice which is followed in Northeast India, but because of reduction in the fallow period, the land degradation issues occur. And for its upliftment, we can go for using legume trees, which not only increases the soil fertility and productivity, but we can also adopt tree-based intercropping system, which enhances the productivity and biodiversity of the region. Application of bioinoculant can be used for enhancing the growth, development, and early establishment of young plant in a degraded jumeland, or we can use for species which are having multiple uses. For example, we can use Ulmus nepalensis, Parkia timoriana, Melina arborea, Aquilaria melakensis. Likewise, we can also think for some other native species which are commonly growing in this region. This not only increases the biodiversity of the region, but also help in socio-economic status of the local people. And these are some of the books. If you want to know more about the Northeast India, the floral diversity, the trees which is found here, about the forest types and the flowering and fruiting season of different trees, then you can read about these two books. These are RFRA publication. And if you want to know more about Parkia timoriana, how selection is done of Parkia timoriana from Northeast India, how it is propagated vegetatively through different means, through air layering and branch cutting, and how it can be utilized for establishing seedling seed orchard and clonal seed orchard, then you can read monograph on Parkia timoriana. If you want to know more about the tribes which is found in Northeast and what are the ethnobotanical and ethnomedicinal practices, then you can read ethnobotany for foresters. And thank you. And before concluding, I would like to show you one of the video which is on degraded jumeland. Here in this slide, you can clearly see that this is the shifting cultivation practices, which is this is degraded jumeland and Manipur, Ukhrul district of Manipur. People are cultivating different cash crops there. One more video is there of short duration.
But it is not visible, sir, here.
Video is not visible.
Yeah.
Okay. I will again run. I will again try to run. Now it is visible.
Oh, no, no. Your last page is hanging.
Just a minute. Just a minute. This is the Zoomland of Ukhrul district of Manipur. See
Please
how
go on full screen, sir.
Sir, still it is not
visible.
showing, sir.
screen में तो है यार. I don't know. It is full screen from our side. Why it is not visible there?
Yeah. Now it's okay, sir.
Yeah, now it is visible, sir.
Okay, this is the Zoomland from Ukhrul district of Manipur. Now you can see how much area is there under Zoom cultivation in Northeast India. This is some small part in Ukhrul district, and similar type of agriculture practice followed in other state also. One more video is there. Yes, this is the degraded Zoomland. Yeah, this is the degraded Zoomland. The people are growing different type of crops in that land, and this is the major issues in Northeast India. With this, I am thankful to Dr. Kaushal Singh for giving me opportunity to share my experience, to share my work in front of you. And now you can, if you have any queries, you can ask. Thank you, Kaushal Singh. It's over to you.
Thank you, sir. Now, as usual, the session is open for any query from our participant sites. Yeah, Dr. Brijesh, are you asking?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. You have any query?
Okay, sir. सर मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है, एक जो नाइट्रोजन फिक्सेशन जो ट्री करते हैं सर, और इनकी रूट जो सर 10 फीट और 5 फीट डीप होती है, और जो कल्टीवेटेड प्लांट होती है इनकी रूट जो होती है जो ओनली 1 फीट तक रहती है, तो ये कैसे मतलब सर नाइट्रोजन अपटेक कर पाते होंगे?
एक नाइट्रोजन फिक्सेशन का एक प्रोसेस है, सिम्बायोटिक एसोसिएशन. ये एटमॉस्फेरिक नाइट्रोजन फिक्स करते हैं बिकॉज ऑफ एक मशीनरी है जिसके जरिए नाइट्रोजन फिक्सेशन करते हैं. एक सिम्बायोटिक एसोसिएशन में एक बैक्टीरिया इन्वॉल्व रहता है रूट नड्यूल्स में, विच वो जो फिक्स करता है नाइट्रोजन एटमॉस्फेयर से, एंड आफ्टर फिक्सेशन के बाद वो कन्वर्ट करता है इनको डिफरेंट फॉर्म में, विच इज यूटिलाइज्ड बाय द प्लांट. लाइक देयर आर वेरी सेवरल नाइट्रोजन फिक्सिंग bacteria which are associated in the root nodules of bacteria which fix nitrogen and provide them to the plant. So एक symbiotic association है ये.
एक्चुअली ये तो बात सर ठीक है, लेकिन कंडीशन यहाँ है सर कि जैसे जो नाइट्रोजन फिक्सेशन ट्री है उसकी रूट तो सर 10 फुट गहरे पे, उसने 10 फीट गहरे में नाइट्रोजन फिक्सेशन किया है. अब वो एक कल्टीवेटेड प्लांट है जिसकी रूट 2 फुट है, वो अपटेक कैसे कर पाएगा उसको? फिर
ऐसा है कि सॉइल के अंदर जब हम कोई कल्टीवेशन एग्रीकल्चर लैंड को कल्टीवेशन करते हैं, प्लोइंग भी करते हैं, प्लोइंग करने से भी वो सैंड नीचे की जो सॉइल है वो ऊपर आ जाती है, और नहीं तो सॉइल के अंदर बैक्टीरियाज प्रेजेंट होते हैं, वो उसको जब ये हमारा ट्रीज है जो जिसका रूट बहुत नीचे गया हुआ है वो डिकम्पोज करता है, तो बैक्टीरिया उसको डिग्रेड करते हैं. जब वो डिग्रेड करते हैं देन द नाइट्रोजन बिकम फ्री एंड इट इज अवेलेबल टू अदर क्रॉप्स विच इज ग्रोइंग एट लोअर. इसका रूट सिस्टम ऊपर ही है, उनको मिल जाता है इसलिए. तो ये बैक्टीरिया अवेलेबल है, आपने पढ़ा होगा नाइट्रोजन फिक्सिंग बैक्टीरिया अवेलेबल होते हैं सॉइल के अंदर, जो ये इनको यूटिलाइज करने में मदद करते हैं प्लांट्स को.
थैंक यू सर.
Thank you, Brijesh. Next, I think Dr. Ashok is asking something.
हेलो.
Yeah,
Yes.
Dr. Ashok, you are audible.
सर पहले तो बड़ा इंफॉर्मेटिव लेक्चर था, और मैं नॉर्थ ईस्ट में पता चला कौन कौन से प्लांट पे आईसीएफआर का इंस्टीट्यूट वर्क कर रहा है, तो बहुत अच्छा लगा सर. मेरे 2 जनरलाइज मतलब छोटे क्वेश्चन है सर. एक तो ये पूछना था सर, जो अपने सीडलिंग और वेजिटेटिव प्रोपोगेटेड जो प्लांट लगाए थे फील्ड में या रूम कल्टीवेशन में, उनका सर्वाइवल परसेंटेज क्या है डिफरेंट लोकेशन में?
अभी हमने पार्किया का लगाया था 2019 में, और अभी करंट में उसको विजिट करने गया था आफ्टर 3.5 ईयर। बीच में भी एक बार में गया था, लेकिन अभी 3.5 साल के बाद हमने जो पाया 65% सर्वाइवल है। ये हमने एक लैंड में जहाँ पे लगाया था 65% सर्वाइवल था, और उसको हमने कुछ गैपलिंग जो बाकी मर गया था वहां पे हमने गैपलिंग किया, तो सर्वाइवल परसेंटेज है 65%।
अच्छा सर, आपने कंपैरेटिवली देखा इसका ग्रोथ जो सीडलिंग और जो वेजिटेटिव प्रोपोगेशन से बेटर किसका है इन दोनों में से?
मैं समझा नहीं, आप किसका कंपेयर बोल रहे हैं? वेजिटेटिव प्रोपोगेशन एंड सीडलिंग रेस्ड मटेरियल?
सीडलिंग वेज जो हमने प्लांट फील्ड में लगाया।
हाँ, इसके दो इश्यूज हैं। हम वेजिटेटिव इसलिए गए हैं बिकॉज वी वांट टू हैव सुपीरियर क्वालिटी प्लांटिंग मटेरियल इन द फील्ड। हम सीड से ग्रो करते हैं, तो सीड से जो ऑफस्प्रिंग है इट मे और मे नॉट बी ऑफ दैट मच गुड क्वालिटी। एंड अनदर थिंग इज दैट बाय ग्रोइंग थ्रू सीड्स, तो सीड का सर्वाइवल एंड देयर वाइबिलिटी बहुत कम है, क्योंकि फील्ड में कोई मॉनिटरिंग नहीं होता, वहां पे इसको ग्रेजिंग हो जाता है, सीड खा लेता है, मतलब वहां पे रोडेंट्स वगैरह सीड इसको बहुत निकाल के खा लेते हैं। तो इसीलिए हम वेजिटेटिव प्रोपोगेशन इसको किया है, और हमने अराउंड 6 मंथ टू 1 ईयर ओल्ड जो रेमिट्स तैयार किए थे उन्हीं को ही यूज किया है। तो मेन फैक्टर है कि हमारा जो सुपीरियर क्वालिटी मटेरियल है वो हम लगाएं प्लांट में, ना कि इंफीरियर क्वालिटी मटेरियल लगाएं। इसलिए हमारा मेन फोकस था वेजिटेटिव प्रोपोगेशन पे।
अच्छा सर, सुपीरियर क्वालिटी आपने सिलेक्शन कैसे किया? मतलब उसका ऑयल कंटेंट या कुछ फाइटोकेमिकल?
हमारा पार्किया टिमोरियाना इज मेनली चेरिश्ड फॉर इट्स पॉड, तो हमने सिलेक्शन किया ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ इट्स ट्री हाइट, ब्रांचेस एंड पॉड एट्रीब्यूट्स। पॉड एट्रीब्यूट्स मींस ना कितना उसमें पॉड्स आ रहा है, पॉड का क्वालिटी कितना है, सीड्स पर पॉड कितना है। ये हमने स्कोरिंग स्केल भी, हमने सर्वे पे जाने से पहले स्कोरिंग स्केल बनाया था कि हमको कैंडिडेट प्लस टी में क्या क्या चीज चाहिए। फर्स्ट हमको चाहिए कि इट शुड बी ऑफ गुड क्वालिटी, गुड हाइट होना चाहिए, ब्रांचेस इसमें ज्यादा होनी चाहिए, एंड इट शुड हैव प्रोफ्यूज fruiting also. So on that basis we have done selection, and we have selected 21 CPTs of Parkia from Northeast India. And in case of Melina arborea, उसके लिए हमको उसका टिम्बर जो क्लियर बोल साइज है वो हमको चाहिए था, अच्छा होना चाहिए, तो उसके बेस पे हमने उसको सेलेक्ट किया, और हमने ये भी देखा कि वो इंसेक्ट उस पर कोई अटैक तो नहीं कर रहा। तो ऑन दैट बेसिस वी हैव सेलेक्टेड, इनिशियली वी हैव सेलेक्टेड अराउंड 71 CPTs from different growing region of Northeast as well as from West Bengal. We have laid out progeny trial at 3 different locations within Northeast, and in 2010 again we go to that site and we have selected the best 25, उनसे से जो बेस्ट 25 थे वहां से हम प्लांटिंग मटेरियल लेके उसको अगेन प्रोजेनी ट्रायल लिया। एंड नाउ इन 2022 फॉर आई एम डिस्कसिंग दिस फॉर मेलाइना, दिस इज थर्ड जनरेशन आई एम टेस्टिंग, and we have scrutinized from 71 to 25. Now we have selected only 6 which are insect resistant as well as which are having clear bole size. We are mass multiplying them, and recently we have got one request from West Bengal Forest Department and one from Manipur to provide the planting material of these 6 clone which are insect resistant. So we are mass multiplying them. In this way हमको डिपेंड करता है कि किस क्वालिटी के लिए, अगर हम फूड के लिए ले रहे हैं तो उसका पॉड एट्रीब्यूट्स के लिए ले रहे हैं तो हमें इस तरह से सिलेक्शन करना है। अगर हम टिम्बर क्वालिटी के लिए ले रहे हैं तो टिम्बर देखना है कि किस में क्लियर बोल साइज है, किसका डाया जाता है, उस बेस पे सिलेक्शन करना है।
तो जो अगरवुड में वो सिलेक्शन बेसिस क्या था सर? अगरवुड के प्लांटिंग की मटेरियल बनाया था।
आप पार्डन, आप दोबारा रिपीट करिए।
अगरवुड के जो आपने सीडलिंग रेज की है उसका
अगरवुड, अगर यू आर आस्किंग अबाउट अगरवुड?
यस यस यस।
अच्छा, अगरवुड में हमारे यहाँ पे काम सीडलिंग से भी रेस, सीड से भी रेस किया है एंड टिश्यू कल्चर से भी रेस किया है। हमारे यहाँ पे या नॉर्थ ईस्ट में रिक्वेस्ट है बिकॉज इट इज ऑफ वेरी, द ऑयल इज ऑफ वेरी हाई क्वालिटी, सो वी आर रेजिंग एंड मास मल्टीप्लाइंग बोथ थ्रू सीड्स एज वेल एज थ्रू टिश्यू कल्चर। इसमें मेन फैक्टर जो है इसका इन्फेक्शन है, मतलब इसमें इसका अगरवुड के अंदर इन्फेक्शन होना जरूरी है। ये नेचुरली किसी फंगस की वजह से होता है, बट इन RFRA वी हैव आल्सो डेवलप सम फॉर्मुलेशन। वो फॉर्मुलेशन को जब इसमें इंजेक्ट करते हैं तब वो उसमें हार्टवुड ब्लैक कलर का होता है, एंड फ्रॉम दैट ब्लैक कलर पोर्शन द ऑयल इज एक्सट्रैक्टेड आउट। सो अगरवुड में कोई ऐसा सिलेक्शन नहीं कि हमको इसके फ्रूट करेक्टर के लिए या टिम्बर करेक्टर के लिए सिलेक्शन कर रहे हैं। इसमें मेन फोकस है हम अगरवुड ग्रो कर रहे हैं विच इज हेल्दी एंड वेयर वी कैन डू इनोकुलेशन, मतलब जिसमें इनोकुलेशन हो सके, इसमें दूसरा कोई एट्रीब्यूट हम नहीं कर रहे हैं। जैसे कि हम
इसका फील्ड प्लांटेशन कुछ है सर इसमें?
टिश्यू कल्चर रेस का हमारे यहाँ पे कर रहे हैं, मास मल्टीप्लाई कर रहे हैं थ्रू टिश्यू कल्चर, एंड वी हैव एस्टैब्लिश्ड at different location, not only in Northeast but in Maharashtra also, in Kerala also. We have got request for agar plantation there. Inoculation हम लोग, हमारे को कोई रिक्वेस्ट आता है किसी के पास प्लांटेशन रेस हो गया है 8 to 10 year old, तो वहां पे जाके इनोकुलेट करते हैं। मतलब हम उसको फॉर्मुलेशन दे नहीं सकते बिकॉज ये RFRA का मटेरियल है, एंड इट एज यू नो दैट this microorganism cannot be patented. तो इसका पेटेंट हम कर नहीं सकते. But if someone need to inoculate, they can approach to director RFRI. We go there and we take some charge and we do inoculation.
सर ये प्रोसेस से या प्रोडक्ट पैकिंग में नहीं जाएगा?
है प्रोडक्ट पैकिंग में. एक्चुअली अगर पे हमारे यहाँ से जो GCR है, हमारे ग्रुप कोऑर्डिनेटर रिसर्च, ही इज वर्किंग ऑन अगरवुड. एक प्रोडक्ट तो इन्होंने रिलीज किया है, बट द फॉर्मुलेशन कैन नॉट बी, आपको बता नहीं सकते क्योंकि हमारा RFRI का मटेरियल है. If you need
patent,
yes, it cannot be patented. As I told, like microorganism cannot be patented. This is the rule. So you can get the product. हमने लास्ट ईयर एक प्रोडक्ट, एक सैशे फॉर्म में एक लिक्विड प्रोडक्ट बनाया है, RFRI देता है उसको. इफ यू नीड, यू कैन रिक्वेस्ट RFRI टू गेट द प्रोडक्ट, बट आप उसको सेल नहीं कर सकते. एंड यू कैन नॉट आस्क फॉर व्हाट इज द फॉर्मुलेशन एंड व्हाट माइक्रोऑर्गेनिज्म यू यूज फॉर मेकिंग दैट प्रोडक्ट.
तो फिर एक और छोटा सा क्वेश्चन था, जो जूम कल्टीवेशन में है, कौन से कोई डिफरेंट प्लांट आपने रिटेन किए हो या?
एक्चुअली मैंने जैसे बताया, मैं पहले थोड़ा ट्राइबल कल्चर प्रैक्टिस से बताता हूँ. नागालैंड में पीपल अल्नस नेपलेंसिस यूज कर रहे हैं, जो कि नाइट्रोजन फिक्सिंग ट्री है. हमने जूम खेती के लिए जो प्लांट यूज किया है वो पार्किया टिमोरिया ने किया. दिस इज आल्सो अ लेग्यूम ट्री एंड दिस इज नेटिव टू नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंडिया. एंड उसका जो पॉड है वो बहुत हाई क्वालिटी, मतलब हाई प्राइस का मार्केट में बिकता है. सो वी हैव टेस्टेड मेलाइना आर्बोरिया, वी हैव टेस्टेड पार्किया टिमोरियाना. Ulnus nepalensis, local people, they are using since very long time. And for Aquilaria, it can be used because the population is declining. So we can use Ulnus nepalensis, or sorry, this Aquilaria melakensis. So this will increase the population. We have tested Parkia timoriana, Melalina arborea. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ashok, for being interactive and asking so many queries. And from I think other participants should also be interactive and ask some their doubts. And Dr. Manish Kumar Singh is available here. Any more participants? Dr. Priyanka Tripathi. Dr. Priyanka Tripathi. I think there is no more question. So, but sir, I have some query from my, or curiosity to know from my side also.
Yes.
You tell about, you discuss about so many species which are RFRI, and you are working for introduction or introducing in degraded, amelioration of the degraded lands which are abundant after the Zoom cultivation.
Yes.
You what are the other species which mostly people prefer to retain in their areas, in those community lands after the large scale burning? So they retain some species traditionally. So they have some particular criteria they for which they retain those species for fruit purpose, or they have no criteria, they just leave some species standing for only
actually from their experience, or from, they have known that, suppose Ulnus nepalensis, they know by their experience, or someone has told, they retain this Ulnus nepalensis tree. They know that this is legume tree, fixed nitrogen within the field itself. So they growing Ulnus tree since time immemorial in this, and this is especially done by Angami tribe of Konoma Place, Nagaland. So they are doing this, and besides nitrogen fixation, I don't think that Ulnus nepalensis has some other benefit. It only fixes nitrogen, retain the nutrient within the soil, prevent the soil erosion. That's why they are growing Ulnus nepalensis. In Meghalaya, they are using bamboos. Bamboo is sold in market. Bamboo is vastly available in Northeast. And in fellow degraded zoomland, they especially use bamboos because their rhizome, the spreading nature of the rhizome of the bamboo, hold the soil particle and prevent the soil erosion. So these are the two species which the people of Meghalaya and the people of Nagaland, they are using.
Okay, thank you, sir. I think Dr. Yumnam also have some query. I think she's also from Northeast.
Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Yumnam.
I don't have any queries, sir. I was just listening and I wanted to be involved. That's why I don't have any issue. I'm from Manipur. So whatever you have talked, it was very much related to what I have seen, shifting cultivation and all. And prior to you also, Basanta, he was my senior. I have heard him also. So it was very nice. seeing,
Madam, you have heard about Yunchak.
Yes, it's the specialty of Manipur.
Yes, it is the specialty of Manipur, and I am Yunchak. The botanical name is Parkia timoriana. So it is highly cherished and it is used in every recipes of Manipur that Parkia used.
Yes, and the medicinal use also it has.
Yes, it has many medical use also. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
I think your voice is not audible, Dr. Kaushal.
Yeah. Thank you, Yumna, for being interactive. Any more question from our participant? Yeah, I think there is no more question. Dr. Manish Kumar Singh, I would like to thank you very much for sparing time for giving your for sharing your valuable experience and vast experience from Northeast India. And no doubt it is a very big challenge to manage, or this is also a important, you cover also important theme of this training, because this training is on forest management and sustainable management of natural resources. So your focus was totally on natural resource management. So it will be, I think, very beneficial for our participants, and you cover very a burning topic, which is responsible for degradation of the forest on large scale and natural resources. So thank you very much, Dr. Manish, for accepting our invitation, and I think you are always available on our request, and thank you again for sharing your vast experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kaushal, and thank you, the chairman of Bandha Agriculture University, for giving me the opportunity to share my work in front of you. Thank you, and whenever you ask, whenever you request, I will be available for delivering lecture in future also. Thank you, Kaushal Singh, and thanks for.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay. Sir, over to you. Now I would like to request Dr. Aishwarya Maheshwari to brief about next session.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kaushal. So this is the first half session, and the second half we have scheduled a very important lecture by Dr. Malesh Shukla. He will be talking about the advances in wildlife forensics. It is really, one of the very important and emerging field in the wildlife research and conservation that we do take some time help, and there is a routine, a laboratory analysis in various samples which are collected in the wildlife sciences for general practices as well as for the illegal wildlife trade as well. So advance in wildlife forensics, importance of human interface in wildlife crime investigation. So this is going to be one of the really important and interesting topic, and we will reassemble at 3 p.m. today after